Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I am truly honored to serve on this committee. And Ms. Xi, I can identify with you because I too am a political refugee. I came here when I was 6 years old. I did not suffer what you suffered at the hands of the Communist Party of China, but I can tell you that Marxist regimes are the same everywhere. There is no difference. And though the Communist Chinese Party was able to hide its true intentions for a long time, in the end, they always expose themselves as to what they want. And Marxist ideology wants to simply dominate the world. And they want to subjugate all of us. They want to oppress us, take away our freedoms. And the people in China and the Chinese people are suffering under the same oppression that my people in Cuba have suffered for the last 60 years. And you've suffered it for even longer in China. And so really, I really identify with you and thank you for your courage. General, do you think that China poses a greater threat to our freedom and the world's freedom than the Soviet Union ever did?
Congressman, yes, I do, because of the complexity of it, especially the interconnectedness of China with the global economy, and just the scale of what they're doing from an economic perspective and from an espionage perspective, I think is unprecedented. We never gave the Soviet Union the kind of access that we gave to Chinese Communist Party operatives, members of the party, again, based on what we've all been talking about, this fundamentally flawed assumption that China, having been welcomed into the international order, would play by the rules, and as China prospered, it would liberalize its economy and liberalize its form of governance.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, after World War II, it was pretty clear that the Soviet Union was going to be our adversary. And so we treated them as an adversary, unlike what we did with China. It says, well, maybe if we treat them kindly, they will change their ways. And I'll tell you one thing. You can never assume that with a Marxist regime. They will lie, cheat, do whatever it is to gain their way or what their goals are. And so I believe that the fundamental difference is that unlike the Soviet Union, we're actually funding the instrument of our demise, and that we must decouple. We have to decouple, but we can't do it alone. We actually have to do it with our allies. And so now that this veil has kind of been withdrawn and the rest of the world can actually start to see what really China's about and what their aims are, do you feel that our allies have sufficiently woken up to the reality of what China is and the threat that China, Russia, Iran, North Korea poses to the rest of the world?
Congressman, no, I don't. I believe the trend's in the right direction, but to use your word, it is insufficient. And I think it's important to understand that really the person that's driving decoupling is Xi Jinping, but on his own terms to create this dual circulation economy. Now, I'm talking about things that I learned from Matt Pottinger, but it really, what China wants to do is insulate China from any kind of consequences, financial or economic, associated with Chinese aggression, while he cultivates dependencies that he can use for coercive purposes. And I think a lesson, again, to go back to a lesson of the reinvasion of Ukraine, is the rending of economic relationships with Russia, the degree to which some companies had stranded capital and investments there. I think that what we really need is a private sector response to this growing geostrategic danger. So companies, I think, international companies, need to really begin to mitigate the risk.
Well, I wish I had that confidence in international companies. A lot of them are looking for profit and short-term profit over really the long-term consequences of that. And so I believe that we're going to have to take some more aggressive steps. We can't do this, incrementally. You need dramatic action, and you need it now in order to stop this threat. Look, some of the folks in here in this committee have talked about the supply chain and rare earth minerals. You'd be surprised that 70% of those rare earth minerals are in our hemisphere, controlled by the Chinese, and we need to start looking in our own backyard to combat the threat. That's the first place we need to start, and then we need to start looking, well, we have to take action around the world. Thank you, and I guess my time is up.